promise I'm going to give you a chance to talk here in just a minute, my colleague. But I have to say that following that outstanding action where, again, as we said on the tape, that the King not only proved he's the toughest sucker in the world, but one of the smartest wrestlers we've ever seen anywhere, anytime. The Tuesday morning, we were called by Austin Idol. Not only was I called to come over there for what was going to be an announcement pertaining a Texas death match, is what it was. And Eddie Marlin was also called. Let's go to a videotape, and I'll show you exactly what happened when we got there for this special conversation brought about by Austin Idol. Okay, we're here talking to the former Southern Heavyweight Champion. I don't say that to run it in. It's the day after, and last night you were on the losing side of what turned out to be a record-breaking loss of the Southern Heavyweight Championship, 39 seconds to the new champion, Jerry the King Lawler. It's now been announced and has been agreed upon a Texas death match where falls don't count between...
Texas death match, huh?
Texas death.
Jerry Lawler really signed his own death warrant when he signed for a Texas death match. You see, Jerry Lawler, you're missing with the #1 professional wrestler in the world today, the man who knows what a Texas death match is all about. I wouldn't have signed for this match if I wasn't sure that Austin could beat you 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring in a Texas death match. You know, Lance, I myself am very upset that I am no longer in possession of the Southern Heavyweight Championship. But Jerry Lawler, you ripped us off! Nobody rips us off. And this time, Jerry Lawler, if you want to live dangerously, you come right on ahead, because we're going to take the belt back in the middle of the ring. Isn't that right, Heartthrob?
Falls don't count, of course, the Texas Tornado Death Match, and it goes to one of you can't answer the bell.
First of all, I want to set the record straight right now, Lance, and I'm going to tell you why I've asked you to be here today. I'm going to also tell you and Eddie Marlin, who is standing over there in the corner, who I'd like to walk out here right now, and I'm going to explain to you, Mr. Marlin, why I've called both of you gentlemen here today.
It's already been agreed, hasn't it?
Well, wait a minute. Now, wait a minute. Let me have my piece here. There's not going to be a Texas death match. There's not going to be any kind of tornado match or anything like that, and I'm going to explain to you why. Relax for a minute. I'm going to tell you what I'm talking about if you'll relax for a minute. If there's going to be any kind of a match at all, it's going to be a cage match. I'm going to tell you that right now. But it's going to be a cage match. Will you wait a minute? Can you just wait 1 minute? I've got the bulls by the horn here, and I've got something I want to say. Not only is it going to make history, not only in wrestling, but in any other kind of sport. First of all, there's going to be a cage match if Jerry Lawler signs the contract. But there's going to be a cage match of a stipulation that's never been seen in wrestling before. I'm not talking about just here in Memphis, but I'm talking about anywhere in the wrestling world. Because you see, the way I look at it, this is my last match with Jerry Lawler. This is Lawler's last match with me. For so many years, he's claimed to the world that he is in fact the king of wrestling. And I'm not going to sit here today and running down by saying that Jerry Lawler is nothing, or Jerry Lawler is a has-been, or Jerry Lawler doesn't deserve to be in one of the top 10 in the entire world of wrestling, because he does. Because his record shows proof of it. Because you can look at his record and you can see how many great athletes that he's knocked off over the years. But on the other side of the coin, you take a look at my record too, and it will indicate the same exact stature. Because when you look at Austin Idol, and you look at Jerry Lawler, and you put them right next to each other, you can't really seem to be able to tell the difference. Although Lawler beat me last week in a very disputed, a very controversial ending that I personally did not like. My man here, Mr. Paulie Dangery, did not like, but that's water under the bridge. What we're talking about now is something monumental. We're talking about something of a magnitude that the entire wrestling world couldn't imagine. I'm going to tell you what it is. Jerry Lawler, in a particular type of match, has always come out the victor. And I'm talking about a hair match. And if you wait a minute, will you? Let me take it from here. Every opponent Lawler's ever wrestled in a hair match, he's always come out victoriously. And you can look down the list, because I look at the record books too, Russell. I do my homework. And he's knocked them all off. He's never had a hair on his head tarnished. Now, I'm willing. I know we haven't talked about it. Listen, I'm my own man, okay? I can think for myself. If I couldn't think for myself, I wouldn't be where I am today. Now, I'm challenging Jerry Lawler not only to a cage match, but I'm willing to risk the hair on my head, every single strand, against every single strand. I want you to listen closely, Marlin, to every single strand of hair on Lawler's head. And I've got a little extra icing for the cake here.
Hair against hair.
Hair versus hair.
You would like.
There must, and I want to repeat it, for everybody in this viewing audience. I don't care if you live in Tennessee. I don't care if you live in Arkansas. I don't care if you live in Mississippi. I don't care where you live. This syndicated television program feeds about 20 million people around the United States. And I don't care if you're watching me right now in Los Angeles, California. I want you to listen real good and don't make a mistake. There must be a winner. Either I get my head shaved or Jerry Lawler gets his head shaved. And I'm so confident. Step in a little closer, Marlin. Step in a little bit closer, because I'm pointing this one right to you, Jack. I'm so confident that I'm going to beat Jerry Lawler in a cage match right here in Memphis, Tennessee, that I'm willing to hand over to you, not a check, cash dollars. It's in excess of $50,000 cash money I'll give to you. And I'll make you a promise, as well as you, Russell, and as well as everybody in this audience, that if I don't beat Jerry Lawler in a cage match, where he has to sit down in a chair and have that head shaved, that I'll refund every single penny. All you'll have to do, you come to the audience, you come to the building, you come to the college.
Lawler's not going to go for that, man.
Wait a minute, Marlon. You understand what I'm saying?
I can't believe what I'm hearing.
I'm telling these wrestling fans here, all they've got to do is show up. They're going to see a night of wrestling that they won't believe. And number one, and it's not even number one, it's the most important thing. If I lose, I'll have my head shaved in the middle of that ring, inside a cage, and you take the money I'm going to give to you tonight, and you can give it to every single wrestling fan that walks through those turnstiles. All they've got to do is keep hold of their ticket stubs. And as they leave, if I lose, you give them their money back, Marlon. You take this to Jerry Lawler. I don't think he'll sign the contract, but Lawler, you remember one thing. You remember one thing, Lawler. I'm aiming this right at you, Jack. The ball's in your court. As far as I'm concerned, this is the last tango. And if you don't accept it, you're washed up, Lawler. You're through.
I can't believe you're making this kind of an offer right here. Your hair, Lawler's hair. You're talking about funding it in case you get beat and you get your head shaved and the money goes back to the people on their tickets.
I'll be promoting this match, Jack.
Eddie, I don't know. I think that's
my mind is made up.
Let's hold it. We're going to be getting Jerry Lawler's reaction to that particular challenge right after we take time out for this.